Holy shit, yo. This chapter was just what I needed to see. After a long break from Kingdom, not only did we come back to see Yotanwa, but we get Ryouyou making some fucking plays. Like, this is what I've been missing from Zhao. When things look like they're going in the enemy's favour, Zhao step up their game and turn the tables. There's been so much hype around Ryouyou and the influence he's going to have on the battlefield. Hell, people even predict that he's going to be taking some heads back to Raboku with him. And honestly, he didn't disappoint me this chapter. From the very moment he entered the battlefield, you can tell that his fighting style, or should I say, the way he views warfare, is extremely cold and calculated. He's not afraid to take huge risks just to get a specific reaction out of the enemy. So he entered on horses, behind enemy lines, with living mountain tribe soldiers attached to their horses, and stabbed them to death right in front of Yotanwa. He risked everything by going behind enemy lines. He could have been surrounded and killed within seconds if Yotanwa had reacted fast enough, and he did this all just to make the fight personal for her, so that he could force an emotional reaction out of them later. Like, it's always easier to manipulate someone that has an emotional attachment to things, right? So he played that really smart. But I gotta ask you guys whether you think this little show that he put on will actually raise a reaction out of Yotanwa later on, and how you think that will come into play. Because we all know that the second part of his plan was to retreat, but what he didn't know is that they would have followed his retreat regardless of whether he made that fight personal for them or not, just because Zhao would be more of a threat if they lost sight of them than anything else. So were Ryouyou's efforts wasted, or will Yotanwa end up falling for this later on? We've already seen her mention that she's burned his face into her memory, so she is planning on getting some sort of payback for this, but when and how is the question, because she doesn't necessarily strike me as the irrational type, so I don't think she would do something completely stupid just so that she could kill him at the end of the war, but who knows. But yeah, that kind of leads me into my next point. Part of me kind of feels like Ryouyou is actually underestimating Yotanwa a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, he turned the losing fight into what looks like a clear advantage for him, but then when you think about it, has he really caught Yotanwa off guard? The way I see it is that he's low-key put her more in her comfort zone. Like, yeah, Zhao might be proud of their infamous Quanrong tribe that they have defending their walls, but when your enemy is Yotanwa, is that really anything special? I mean, she's Yotanwa. This is what she does. She fights and overthrows other mountain tribes for a living. If anything, fighting ordinary Zhao soldiers with their specific tactics and formations would be more off-putting to her than fighting a bunch of savages like these guys. Yes, it may even the odds in terms of strength seen as mountain tribe soldiers are seemingly worth 10 times the ordinary plain soldier, but she's used to that. So yeah, I'm not sure how or if these guys are going to make as much of an impact as Ryouyou is hoping, but then again, I could be completely wrong and I could be the one underestimating them, especially when you consider that Yotanwa and her people were already outnumbered as it is. So the fact that they basically introduce super soldiers into their squad as well as having them outnumbered might seriously tip the scales in Zhao's favour. But I don't know, let me know how you guys feel the Quanrong people will affect Yotanwa. To be 100% honest with you, I'm actually so hyped to see Yotanwa and her people go up against an army of their level. Like, every time we see the mountain tribe, they're completely stomping out their competition in every way possible. So it always made me wonder what a war between two mountain tribe clans would look like, and how Yotanwa's warfare looks when she's fighting against other mountain tribes. So this right here, I honestly couldn't have asked for anything better, and I look forward to seeing how this fight goes down and whether or not Heki will play a major part in it. And yet again, that leads into my next point. I've been rereading Kingdom over the past few weeks, and it's actually amazing to see an army like this enter the story after being foreshadowed way back when this story was first beginning. I think it was chapter 19 or 20 when they first went to visit Yotanwa that this army was mentioned by Heki when him, Shin and Ten were all captured by the mountain tribe. Heki mentioned it was one of the most ferocious mountain tribe armies that he had heard about. So I wonder if Heki's knowledge of this specific tribe is why Hara put him in this section of the army, and if it will actually sway the tide of the battlefield. But who knows. Overall, I'd rate this chapter a 9 out of 10, a great change of pace in my opinion. I was kind of getting frustrated seeing Quinn making all the plays and Zhao just sitting back there and taking it, so I'm glad we actually see them stepping up their game now. But let me know what you guys think of the chapter in the comment section down below. Like the video if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already for more of that Kingdom greatness, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
1.